Hey everyone, and welcome to another OfferVault webinar. Tonight we have one of our most popular, and admittedly she won't say so herself, but the votes are in, one of our most revered experts. Leanne Carmey's here, and tonight is Outstanding Free Backlinks, or is it Free Outstanding Backlinks, or am I outstanding looking for backlinks? One of those three things, Leanne. So just before Christmas, if you've got free stuff for people that's going to make money, I'm sure they're all sitting there with their fingers crossed for the big tip, so take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Rick. So, hey, everyone, good evening. Great to be here. And today's first day of Hanukkah, so anyone who celebrates it, well, anyone who really celebrates it isn't here probably, but if you do celebrate Hanukkah, kind of, then happy Hanukkah. And for the rest of you, Christmas is coming up, so Merry Christmas. And if you celebrate anything else, then just I hope it's a happy one. And if you don't celebrate anything at all, then I hope you have some time off. So either way, good times. And today's topics, as Rick mentioned, we're getting really awesome backlinks to your niche site. So before we get into that, I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. So we're going to do a little bit of a link building and keyword research overview. And this is something that you would do anytime you create a niche site. Okay, and what's a niche site, right? A niche site is a site that caters towards one niche or one topic. Okay, whether it's the cooking niche, or sautéing niche, if you want to get really specific, or if it's yoga or anything else for that matter. Okay, so we're going to look at really why we do link building, and we're going to look at keyword research, and then I want to show you 4 really cool ways to get some backlinks to your niche site. And I know in the webinar invite it said how to use Google and Yahoo to find the top links. Well, that's going to change a little bit, and I'll explain why. So let's get right to it. And I've got the question box open here, and I would like to get some quick feedback from you guys. And the first question that I have for you is, what do you think the main purpose of link building really is? So just a quick answer, a couple of words. What do you think is the main purpose for link building? Okay, James says PageRank. Daniel says ranking. Buford says traffic. Tom says make money. Get people to your site. Ranking, site authority, ranking, drive more traffic, boost your search ranking, driving traffic and link juice, relevance, up on the SERPs. SERPs are the search engine result pages. Make more money, get to the top. Awesome. Okay, great answers. I love all of those. And they're all true to some extent, right? The more links you have to your site, the higher your site is going to rank in the search engines, the higher the page rank of your site is going to be, the more traffic you're going to have, because links means people can click through to your site from somewhere. The more links you have to your site, the more traffic you have, the more your site ranks on the search engines, the more money you're going to make, right? More traffic, more money. You're going to have more authority in your site, and so on. So absolutely, and I like Randy's answer of relevance, because really that's a huge deal, and that's part of the reason that I'm going to show you some of these backlinks today. So thanks for that answer, Randy. That was a great one. So great answers. I love that. And yeah, for all those reasons, we build links to our site. And there are lots of methods to do that, and you should always employ a regular method of promotion. You should always try some new things as well. And today I'm going to show you some things that hopefully are going to be new to you, to at least some of you. So Buford says, Randy is brown-nosing. Nice, just giving a good answer. So let's look at some, let's just draw a picture of link building. How about that? So I've got a little desk scribble app here. And let's say you've got a niche site. And we're going to call this your money site, right? And you've got a nice money site, and every time people go here, a certain percentage click on your ads and you make money, okay? Or it's an e-commerce site and a percentage of people purchase something from you, right? Whatever it is, this is your niche site, okay? And you want this ranking on the search engine. So you build links to it, okay, from different places. Maybe you use Web 2.0, maybe you use articles, maybe you're creating videos. Maybe you're doing different things to get links. Maybe you're social bookmarking. Anything you're doing, you're building up. And as you do that, of course, this site starts to rank higher and higher. Okay, now let's talk about relevance, because I love that. And let's talk about keywords, because a lot of times when people are new to search engine marketing and to SEO, search engine optimization, they say they want to rank on Google, but they don't really understand. And I think you guys will understand this if you're here, but they don't really understand that ranking on Google doesn't mean you just rank. It means you rank for a specific keyword phrase, okay? So there's a certain keyword phrase that you would like to rank for, and that means something. It means you've got to be relevant in your promotions. You've got to use that keyword that you're trying to rank for in your promotion. So it's not enough to just link to your site. I mean, it helps if you just have links for images, for example, that have no relevant content, just maybe alt text on the image. That's great too. And directory links, when you submit your site to a directory, that helps as well. But what I'm talking about is keyword-rich links. I'm talking about anchor text links that have your keyword phrase on them, and that's really what we're focused on, right? So let's say you want to rank for, let's try a keyword like sauteing mushrooms, right? I don't know why that's coming up. I must be hungry. So you want to rank for sauteing mushrooms because you have a cooking site. You have a sauteing cooking site. And so sauteing mushrooms, so everything that you're linking back, you're using sauteing mushrooms in your link, okay? So your anchor text on your link, the clickable text says sauteing mushrooms. And every time you send another link back that says sauteing mushrooms, Google and Yahoo and Bing and all the other search engines start to say, wow, this site must be about sauteing mushrooms. Okay, so every time we link back, sauteing mushrooms, right? And eventually, we get all those things that you guys talked about. We get the ranking. So now you type in sauteing mushrooms in the search engines, and the search engines go, okay, well, there are 500 links that say sauteing mushrooms all going to this one site. I bet that's what people are looking for when they type in sauteing mushrooms. And then you start getting more traffic, like John said, and you start getting higher and higher in the search engine rankings, like Sam said, and it's all relevant because it's all about sauteing mushrooms. So anytime someone asks something about sauteing mushrooms, they find your site, and then other people start linking to your site from different blogs and places, and people are starting to come and they're starting to buy your recipes. Okay, so everything that you guys mentioned, why we do link building, is how this works. So today I'm going to show you a couple of awesome ways to get, actually more than a couple, I'm going to show you about 4 different ways to get some really awesome backlinks that are a little more powerful than your regular promotions that you do. And I'll explain as we go along why that is, why that works that way. So let's go back to our text document. And I want to give you a couple of examples of keyword research just to give you some background on it. So my next question for you guys is I want to know, what are some niches that you'd like me to play around with on Google? So just throw out some niches, anything at all that you want. I'll grab a few of them that I like. Maybe I'll grab 1 or 2 that I don't like, and we'll look them up. I like that, Andy. Good. Andy says migraine. I've got mobile marketing, canning food, salt lamps, advertising methods, art deco jewelry, personal development, outdoor gear. Wow, lots of good stuff. Okay, cool. All right, so there's a lot of you on, and now a lot of you on the call. Now I've got about 1 million niches available to me. So I think I'm going to start with migraines. I'm interested. I used to have migraines when I was a kid, when I was actually in my early 20s, and I've never really thought about migraines as something that you would type in. But already, here's a bunch of ads on the side. I just started typing. There's ads on the side. And that's one of the first things I look for when I'm doing keyword research. I want to see, is it commercially viable? Is it commercially viable? And obviously, I wouldn't try to do anything with just the word migraine, although I'll show you how we're going to use this main phrase later. But, here's Google Suggest, and I love using Google. Everything that's free on Google, I love using for keyword research. So we have migraine medications is the first thing that shows up. Let's see what happens with that. So we have Advil, Frova, all kinds of serious medications. migraineresearchfoundation.org, looking at the sites that are showing up, Mayo Clinic, drugs.com, WebMD, and I'm thinking there's no way I would ever rank for this phrase. And I also know that that ranking for medications for prescription drugs, it has some legal ramifications, and there's a lot of work involved in that. And if I were putting together a niche site, unless I was doing something like natural migraine medications, I would probably skip it. But let's try that. Let's see if that even shows up without me typing it. Let's do related searches, and you can see I'm just playing around with Google. Generic migraine medications list, prevention, new migraine, lots of Imitrex. I remember I took that once. It made my hair stand up. Like literally, it felt so weird. Midrin, Fioricet, migraine relief, symptoms, headaches, causes. Now, I'm going to try typing in natural here. Okay, and it is showing up in Suggest. Interesting, it has during pregnancy, remedies, natural or alternative medications for migraine prevention. Let's try natural migraine medications. I'm still seeing ads on the side for vitamins, for example. Let's get rid of related search here and just look at all the searches. So I have migraines.org, alt medicine, choose natural. And let's see what our competition is. I'm going to put this phrase in, this keyword phrase in phrase match or exact match. And I'm going to see what the competition is. And wouldn't you know it, there's only 3 results. Interesting. One is a feed. It's like basically it's a feed. One of them is Damix.com, which I don't know what kind of site that is, but it doesn't look like an authority site. And then printfood.org, which I have no idea what kind of site that is. So I want to take this to Google AdWords, to the external keyword tool, and I want to know, are there a lot of people searching for this? I'm just curious. And there are 260 global monthly searches for this phrase, so not extremely high, but there's definitely people searching, and I know that I can get on the front page for this. I can get on Google page 1 for this if I do everything right? If I just even don't do everything right, but I just build links to it, I know I can show up on the first page. Again, why? Because there's no one else competing for this. Now, why aren't they competing? Well, probably, first of all, because there's no, actually, I don't know, because there's a lot of ads. But I think a majority of the competition for migraines is from pharmaceutical stuff. And also, again, there's not a lot of searches, okay, 260 global monthly. I usually go for things that have at least 1,500 global monthly searches, okay? So that's migraines for you, a little bit of research. Obviously, I would go deeper, but I want to give some of your other niches a chance. And I have never, ever looked up canning food, never. And I don't even know what salt lamps are. So I'm going to start with canning food. Let's try that. Canning. All right, so we have tomatoes, jars, tomato sauce, applesauce. Let's can tomatoes. I like tomatoes. All right, so already we have some interesting things like pressure. But I want to see something. I'm going to hit enter here, and I want to know, why am I not seeing any ads? Why doesn't canning tomato show me any ads? I'm thinking this is not really commercially viable, and if I were creating a niche site, I want something more commercially viable. So there's some ads with just canning equipment. So let's look at canning jars. Okay, cool. So we have some ads on the side for canning jars, and I'm just curious. This is a really short phrase, right? It's not a long tail phrase. It's a really short phrase. 1.36 million in competition when I put it in exact match. And cool, Kathy says canning supplies. I'm going to try that next. But jars came up on Google Suggest, which is why I grabbed it, right? Because I don't know anything about it, so I just let Google tell me. So definitely with jars, we have a lot of ads. We have ads on the top, ads on the side, and sites like Amazon showing up. Shopping results are showing up, right? It will be as if I clicked on shopping. That's really a majority of the stuff that's showing up. And let's keep searching. So it gives me specific locations, sizes. So these are really shopping results, like 8 ounces. And now I've got shopping results on the ads, shopping results at the top, and they're giving me some other things too, I think, but most of these are shopping results. And let's see what the competition is for that, because maybe, I don't know, maybe you have a site that sells jars. All right, so it's under 50,000 in results, and I always say that I love to stay under 50,000 for competition because I know it's going to be super easy to rank, okay, for this exact phrase when I do that. Over 100 gets really tough. Between 50 and 100 is also all right, but I like to stay under 50. But I'm curious, does anybody search for this stuff? Let's see. All right, well, more than natural migraine medications, which surprises me, but I guess canning is a little more popular than migraines, and I don't blame people for that. 880 still under 1,500, which is kind of my benchmark, but still pretty good. This is something that I would possibly go for depending on my niche site. If my niche site was about canning, I would definitely try to rank for this particular phrase. Let's try canning supplies, and it does show up when I put S in, so that's a good sign. And I do have ads on the side. I do have ads on top. This is obviously a shopping phrase. I'm seeing shopping results in Google. Lots of competition, but that's a really short phrase. And it gives me location modifiers. Okay, Bay Area, Oakland, Berkeley, Santa Rosa, all places around me. If you type this in, you'll see locations around you. And that's not necessarily bad. I mean, if I have a store, if I'm promoting an offline store, why not? I mean, without Exact Match, this is only 66,000 in competition. With it, there are only 6 results. Okay, and it gives me some what I'm assuming is a local place, okay, or local results. Okay, and there's still lots of ads, which is a good sign. So Tom says, is shopping a positive or a negative? Tom, it depends what you want to do with your niche site. If you have an e-commerce site, shopping is awesome because people are, well, let's say this. It doesn't matter. It's not good or bad. It's just what people are planning to do. Google knows that when someone types in canning supplies, they're looking to buy canning supplies. That's why they're giving me location modifiers. That's why they're giving me pictures with prices, okay? And I could click on shopping here and get even more shopping results. Let's just do canning supplies. Okay, and I'm going to really get shopping results with prices on the side. I can compare prices, right? And it's just that Google doesn't know for sure, but they know from experience that when people search for canning supplies, they're looking to buy something. Okay, they're looking to purchase. Okay, they kind of know that, and that's why they give more shopping results, and that's why advertisers are giving me shopping results as well. Reusable canning jar lids, wet glass canning jars, and more. Canning supplies sell. Okay, so let's. Oh, Danny says, earlier I checked related searches. Sure. So let's look at that again. So canning supplies, let's say I'm not really sure what to type here. I'm going to go to related search rates. Under all results, sometimes you have to show more search tools, but it's right there on the bottom. Pressure canner, okay, so more specific. Canning recipes, canning equipment, how to can food. I like how-to phrases, but let's see if they're commercially viable. And this one is not commercially viable. Pressure canner will be commercially viable because it's a product, okay? So obviously commercially viable. People are obviously looking to buy. All right, so let's see. Let me see that other niche. John says, what about using the verbatim tool? Let's see what happens. I don't know. Pressure canner. So I have a feeling that verbatim probably means, word for word. So let's type in the, what is this called? What is that called? The preamble to the Constitution. So I just put in verbatim, and I've got the exact stuff showing up. Now I'm going to clear that. I'm going to reset the tools, and I'm going to search again. And it looks like I've got very similar results because I've put a really long phrase. It's giving me some related stuff. Let's do something shorter and see what shows up. So now we have U.S. Constitution, constitutionus.com, and then I'm going to do verbatim again, and I think it limits it to, the exact phrase. So if you're, if you're looking for a quote or something, if you're doing research, I think that would be really useful. But I'm not sure how you would use verbatim in terms of keyword research for promotion. And you can kind of do the same thing by just putting phrase match, putting quotations around everything. So that's my limited work with verbatim. I've actually never used it till just now. So let me look at some of your questions, and I'm going to grab that other niche. Tom says, would you do this for only 200 plus searches? So if you mean in Google AdWords, if there's only like 200 global monthly searches, it really depends on the niche and what I'm doing. So when you have a niche site, hopefully you're promoting more than just one keyword phrase. So you might have that first keyword phrase that you start with, and then maybe you have a WordPress blog and you add a post and you've got a related keyword phrase, and then you would do that. And so it's okay to have low global monthly searches for keyword phrases that are secondary. It's perfectly fine, and it can get you a lot more traffic because, in truth, it's the long tail that's going to give you most of your traffic. It's just that it's lower volume, right? So if you have a whole bunch, if you have 100 different low volume long tail phrases, with let's say 200 global monthly searches each, that adds up actually. So yeah, I would. Buford says, in the Google keyword tool, what's your thought on broad versus exact? You know what? I don't think anything of it. I just search in broad. I don't play around with it. You can. That's just the way that I've been working for a while. If you have a reason to use exact match, you can do that. I've just always used broad, and I always use my my little 1500 rule with broad match, and that's worked for me pretty well. All right, let's see. All right, so Danny, what you want to do when you go to Google is no matter what you type in, look on the left, and first you've got different things you can search for, right? We're going to look at that today. And then you have your location probably, and then you have time, and then you have all results and different options, sites with images, related searches. And this will be in a different order for you. Earlier, related searches were on the bottom for me. And if I hide this, you want to click on Show Search Tools, and then you'll find related searches, okay? So that should be where you can find it. So let me find that other niche I found that I found strange, salt lamps. Mark, what is that? We're going to find out right now. Salt lamps. What is a salt lamp? Oh, my gosh, what is that? Natural Himalayan crystal salt lamp. Okay. Obviously, a commercial phrase, right? Commercially viable. Look at all these ads. Okay. When someone types in salt lamp, they're usually trying to buy something. And do these do something special? Mark, you sell them. Okay, awesome. So Mark's got a site where he sells salt lamps. Very cool. Obviously, a commercially viable term. And if he's trying to rank for that phrase, how much competition does he have? Let's see, because that's a really short phrase, and there are about 1 million competing results. So for 1 million competing results, you could rank, but it would take you several years, and guess what? You would need to rank for a lot of the longer tail keyword phrases in order to rank for the short tail. So that's a little trick. So the more you rank for the longer tail phrases, the more likely you are to rank for the short tail. So benefits, reviews, those are all great keywords usually when you're talking about shopping, reviews. And let's see what the competition is for the word review. 33,000. So this is a great one to start with. Salt lamp reviews. And how many people are searching for salt lamp reviews? I don't know. Let's find out. 390. Okay, so that would be one of those long tail phrases that you put a post on your site. Whether it's an e-commerce site or some other site, you would put a post that says salt lamp reviews, and then you'd promote it and link to it with that phrase. And let's see what else we can put on here. So there's benefits that shows up, and let's put that in phrase match and see what our exact competition is. really low, 14,000. Still a lot of ads on the site. That's great. Salt lamp benefits. Let's see how many people are actually searching for that. And look at that. This is a great phrase. 3,600 global monthly searches and only 14,000. So, Mark, if you don't already rank for this, this would be the phrase that I would go for next. Okay? Salt lamp benefits. I would put a post on your e-commerce site that's called Salt Lamp Benefits and have a nice article on there with some pictures and videos, and I would link to that post with this exact phrase. So let me check out the questions, and then I want to move forward to show you a few different ways to get some really cool backlinks that some of you might not know about. Okay, so they naturally cleanse the air. I did not know that. It says, how do you get the ads appearing on the right bar of your page? How do I get the ads showing? Well, when you clear the search tools, okay, when you have all results anytime and everything, then you should get ads on the site. Now, Acer, I don't know what country you're in. If you're in the U.S., you should probably see the same thing. If you're on a computer, if you're on a mobile device, you might see the ads differently. You might see them on top and on the bottom, like I do on my cell phone. And if you're in another country, there might not be any ads targeted at you. So if you're doing keyword research in another country and you're using Firefox, you might want to get a tool called Quick Locale Switcher. And I'll type that in here for you guys. And I used that in the past. I'm not sure if that's still good, if there's a new one, but that's the one I used to use to switch the location. And then if you're in another country, you can actually switch it to the U.S. and see ads in the U.S. You can switch it to the U.K. and see ads in the U.K. and so on. All right. So, Tom says that she may have ad blocker installed on her browser. That's possible. That's possible. Jason says saltlampbenefits.com is available. So, Mark, you know what to do. So, Danny, I'm not sure. I'm using Firefox. So if you don't see the stuff on the side, it could be that Google maybe doesn't have that. Maybe you need to log in. I'm logged into Google. So play around with it and you'll figure it out. It's definitely there, although Google will sometimes split test and show different things to different people. But I've had this stuff show up pretty regularly for the last few months. So I'm pretty sure you've got it. Just, play around, log in, log out, do different things and check your settings also. And Danny, yeah, if you're in Canada, things might be different. So also try the locale switcher, right? I'm doing everything from the U.S. So things could be different here. And in fact, they are usually different in different countries for Google. Good. So we've looked at a couple examples of keyword research, and I did learn a few things like salt lamps and canning, which I didn't know were big niches, and apparently they are. So the next thing that I want to look at is getting your backlinks. And we already talked about this, right? Link building is how we get a site to rank in the search engines. We did the illustration, and I showed you some examples. We looked at commercial viability, right? We looked to see, are there ads on the site? Because if there's not, you know what? I probably wouldn't go for that phrase because people are not going to buy. And we saw a lot of shopping results today, but those are not the only ones that are commercially viable. I mean, let's just put how to make money online. Okay, and this is not shopping, right? There's not shopping results here, but it's obviously commercially viable. Lots of competition with the ads. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that because most of the stuff we looked at were shopping type of results. And by the way, some of you guys are putting in questions that I'm not finding relevant to this content. So what I'll do is I'll go back through and answer them at the end. So I don't want you to feel like, like I'm ignoring you or something. It's just I want to get through the content first, and then I'll answer any questions that aren't as related. Okay. Yeah, Danny, just Google the locale switcher. I think it's called Quick Locale Switcher, and it's a Firefox plugin. So just Google it. All right, so we looked at long tail versus short tail phrases. And again, the short tail were the 2 words, 1 or 2 words in the keyword phrase. There's a lot of competition. Sometimes, people aren't really sure what they're looking for when they type the short tail. So We also talked about how to rank for the short tail with high competition, which is rank for a lot of the long tail, and you become an authority site on the short tail as well. Okay, so that's just a note if you didn't know that. And we looked at the competition in the search engine. We looked at putting it in quotation marks, which is called phrase match or exact match in some cases, depending on who you're talking to. And I told you that I like to stay under 50,000 or under 100,000. I don't really like to go over that. And we looked at global search volume, which I personally like. My benchmark is 1,500 global monthly searches or more, but I will go for things that are lower as long as I'm going for a lot of them. You know, a lot of different long tail phrases with 500 searches a month is going to get me traffic in the long term, and eventually I will rank for the short tail. Okay, so now that we're done with that, let's talk about some awesome backlinks for your niche site. And Acer found the link for Locale Switcher, so I'm going to give that to everybody. Thank you, Acer. Send that to everybody if you want to copy that. And the first thing I want to talk about is blog commenting. Now, don't worry, this is going to get a lot better. Any of you who've had a blog have probably experienced spam. And I wanted to show you an example of that because I think it's so funny. It's so annoying, and it's so funny at the same time. So I pulled up one of my blogs, which is an auto post blog, which isn't doing too well right now. But I just wanted to show you all the comments that I'm getting, because my blog is basically spam, and this one in particular, I mean. And here's my latest comment from today. It says, "You are my intake. I own few weblogs and rarely run out from posts. Smiley face. No opera plot can be sensible for people. Do not sing when they are feeling sensible." What do you think? Is that a pretty good comment? Here's another type of spam. So this is like nonsense comments or totally irrelevant. This is just, look at all these links. And by the way, this is a nice, this is an anchor text link that like I was talking about, right? Anytime you link to a page on your site or to your site, you're linking and trying to rank for that. So if they're trying to rank that site that you see on the bottom left of my screen, whatever that is, if you're trying to rank that for Mobic high blood pressure, that's what you link, okay? So here's, a whole bunch of spam. This is obviously spam. And here's another spam, not so obvious spam if you don't have a lot of experience with it, but I simply want to tell you that I'm just newbie to blogging, actually enjoyed your weblog. Very likely I'm planning to bookmark your blog. You amazingly come with impressive articles and reviews with thanks for sharing your web page. Okay, so it's like slathering on the, it's BS, right? There's no content here. I just wanted to point that out to you. And what's the point? The point is to get a link back to this site, whatever that site is, okay? And here, by the way, the backlink is for Cialis, 10 milligrams to this site, okay? And here's another one, Cialis to this site, okay? So I just want to point out what spammers are doing. Here's another one. Thanks for taking this opportunity to mention this. I'm strongly about it and benefit from garden greenhouse structures with this subject. When possible, when you gain data, please update this website with new information. I found it extremely useful. My blog is about toys for toddlers. All right, so this is more spam. It's totally useless comment, right? It's not going to create a discussion. It's not real feedback. It's not anything except, this is so great. I love this. By the way, visit my blog, and here's my link that I want to rank for. So, again, and they're not using the link here, but these guys are, right? Viagra. They want to rank this for Viagra, for Cialis effect secondaire. Okay, so this is in French or something. All right, they're want to rank for key phrase in French. Best ellipticals. Here's another one. Strongly suggest adding a Google Plus button for the blog. Thanks. And they're trying to rank for best ellipticals to this site. Okay, so this is blog comment spam, and it is rampant, and there are lots of products out there that let you do this, and I do not recommend it because a majority of the people are going to hit spam, 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 and just get annoyed. And why do people do this? Well, because it's mass, right? You do enough of these, and some blogs are going to automatically approve them, and you've got a nice link back to your site. But again, spamming is not something that I think is a great thing to do. I think it frustrates people on the web, frustrates people that are marketers, or frustrates people that are not marketers. It's just not playing nice. So instead of doing that, what you're going to do for your niche site is use some real comments and actually go out and make an effort to really make a real comment. So let's go back to Google and let's search for, where's that? Art Deco jewelry. Let's see if, let's look for another one. I'm looking back through all your niches that you gave me. Let's do gardening. And that's from Ron. So thanks, Ron. So I'm putting in gardening. And I'm going to go here on the left again, and I'm going to click on blogs. Okay. Now I've got some highly ranked blogs for gardening. And all I'm going to do is start going into these. And I want to see if I can put a comment. And I'll show you an easier, quicker way to do this, by the way. But I'm going to go to one of the posts. And I'm going to scroll down and see if I can add a comment. And it looks like there are some comments here. I can leave a response. That's great. I'm going to actually do something crazy and read this. I'm going to read about the knockout rose tree. I'm going to read the other comments. And I'm going to leave a response that's thoughtful, intelligent, makes sense. Maybe I'll ask a question. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the website I'm trying to rank. I'm going to put my email. Okay, in case somebody responds and I can get another link in. And for name, I'm going to put the keyword phrase that I'm trying to rank for. And most of the time, if you leave a real comment, the website owner will leave that there. They're not going to care, okay? Because your site probably has something to do with gardening. So